Welcome back to Fishing with Vance, the fishing channel not trying to sell you anything. On today's video, I'm going to start the modifications for the Pelican Bass Raider for 2025. And the first one I'm going to work on is getting these monster rod holders in to be able to be used on that Pelican Bass Raider. This year I'm going to be targeting carp off the Pelican, so we're going to get these guys put to good use. Stay tuned. Let's see how it turns out. All right, so Pelican mods for 2025. Here we are back in the garage here for the off season, and the mod I want to start with, like I said, I bought some monster rod holders because where I fish, if you guys follow the channel, if you're new to the channel, I fish a lot of smaller lakes, but one in particular, I call it the swamp, and it's just because it has a ton of weeds. In the middle of the summer, it can have up to 75% coverage in weeds, and it's a great bass spot, but it has a ton of carp in it. And every year, I'm always saying, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to carp fish off this Pelican Bass Raider and catch some of these carp. I've never caught a carp off the Pelican Bass Raider. I've caught them on the bank. Whole bunch of them off the bank, and it's a blast. I really enjoy it. So I primarily fish for bass out of this thing, but I really want to catch some of these carp. So here's the idea of the mod. I don't want to really disturb this utility table here because it's my go-to for bass. I like the handle. I like how it's nice and thin. The handle, you have the 4 pole holders, but these PVC rod holders are just for holding the rod while I'm not using them. They're not going to work. If I put a rod in this thing and a big old, 15-pound carp gets it and I forget to loosen my drag, it'll pull this right off of here, because this is just meant for transporting out there, and it keeps the rods out of my way and not at my feet while I'm fishing. And it gives me the option to take up to 8 rods, even just on this alone. I don't normally take that many, but if I have somebody with me, we usually take 4 apiece, so it gets used. So the point is, I don't want to disturb this table and add it to that. I also would like to avoid drilling holes into the boat. I know I did it for the Lowrance here, but even that, if this pole holder was in here, even with this base, I don't know that it would hold up. I mean, these aren't meant to hang on. They're meant to just stay there. So here's the idea. I have this table that I made that I tend not to use unless I'm going to a bigger lake and I want to be a little leaner, have less stuff. And so this table I made a few years ago without the use of a seat bracket. Guys are asking, hey, seat brackets are hard to come by. How can we make a table without it? So I made this one back in my workshop. It's pretty basic. If you want to see how I built this, I'll put a link in the description. You can see how I built this simple table. Anybody could build it. I just literally had scrap wood laying around, used pocket holes to put these together, and then got some, these I think are 2x2s maybe, I'm not sure. And then I just used a bandsaw and tapered down the leg so that it fit right in the groove of the Pelican there. Anyway, so I don't use this table that much, but it would be perfect for this. Now I'm not going to get out there and try to put 4 rod holders out and try to have, rods everywhere. I don't know if this would work or not. I might use these. I don't think this would come off because I've got that down in. But I really wanted to try out the monster rod holders. So I'm going to put a couple of these guys on here. And the idea was I'm going to put the base on this table and then put the rod holder on there, on the base. So that's the idea, but let's see how it turns out. When I get out there, these do turn. I mean, I have them in there pretty tight. So when I got out there, I could technically put a rod in here and then one here and one here, It might be a little close. We'll try that out, but that's not the point. If this works out, I'm going to put one rod holder here and one over there. I might put a third one here. I doubt it. I'll probably just go two, because two rods out in the swamp is probably about as many as I want to man. But we'll see how it goes. I at least want to start with two. So I want to see how this works here. The question I have too is, once I put that rod holder in here, this thing's pretty light. It made light by design, so I could get it in and out of the boat easily. But I want to test it out. Put a rod, once I get this installed, put a rod in here and then pull down and simulate as if it's, a carp hitting and making a run, and I forget to, loosen the drag, which I've done. Is it going to lift this whole table up or not? I doubt it, but I still want to test it. Guys probably thinking, hey, if you catch a carp that can pull this whole table into the water, it'd be like a state record. So I don't know though, but I still want to test it before I get out there. But stay tuned. Let's. I'm going to install this on here and then see how this goes, and then how it fits on, and then also put a rod in it and see if I can pull, if it's going to hold without the table moving. All right. So I think I'm going to want this about right here. So I think right there between these other rod holders will work. So I can always move it. So I'm going to go. It's the pocket hole for this. It's right about there, but I think we'll be okay. I can come out this way some. I don't want to take the handle off if I can help it, because I'll still be able to lift that up. So I'm going to come out a little ways. Let's come out a little ways. So I changed my mind. So what I don't want to end up is in the pocket. In the screw that is holding these boards together with the pocket hole. So I'm going to put it right here and see how this goes. I'm just going to draw a quick little outline. Probably don't need this, but that looks pretty good. Hope you can see that. Alright, so got my setting on drill. So you know what, this isn't going to work because I've got that right there. I just realized that's not going to work. Okay, so we got to set it back a little further. The reason that's not going to work, this is going to drill in. I could attach it with a some type of screw, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather do a nut and a bolt so I can tighten it down. So that's not going to work. So let's see where that is. Well, it's going to be right in line with this, because this support bar goes right across from here, and this is dead center, so that's not going to work. But I should be able to just move it back a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. Like that. That I think I can get through. So not these guys. All right. I doubt that's going to fit through there, but let's just see. I want it to be snug, but yeah, let's I'm gonna make this a little So 1/4 inch is what it's going to take. Yeah, so that's fine. So definitely easier this way. You can see under there. All right, so let's give these guys a little tap. I think we'll have enough room. We shall see. Come from this direction. So if I just hold it, I can't turn that nut. If I just hold it with my fingers, it'll serve the same purpose. I'll tell you what, if a carp pulls this out, I just tip my cap to him. Tell you that much. All right, good deal. Base is going nowhere. Okay, let's put it back on the boat. All right, so there it is installed, and it is on there. Now, I have this up here for right now, but it's probably not where I would fish. When I go after the carp, I won't take this table. I'll just have the seat, this table, and this seat won't be with me. Just be one seat and this. So this will be able to be way back in this direction. Not a whole lot. I'll probably fish out of the front, sit back there, and have this right here where this is for now. But for demonstration for right now, it can be where it is. All right, so let's go ahead and install the monster rod holder. All right, so again, got these monster rod holders off Steve Douglas's site. I've been watching his videos for years, and him catfishing on the Ohio River. And so whenever I decided I was gonna try my hand at catfishing, I definitely wanted to buy some of his rod holders. Now, I don't know if that's tight enough. Let me get a wrench and tighten that up. I think that's... I definitely can't get all the way around again, so right there is where I'm going to want it. So let me get an open-ended wrench to tighten that up. Open-ended wrench, and I'm going to do it. Oh boy, okay. All right, now that's not going anywhere at all, as they say. All right, so that's on there, and I don't see a fish taking that, so we'll see. All right, but let's give these a try. So I don't know if it'll fit in my garage there. We'll see. Let's try this guy. It's a big old carp rod of mine here. It's a Cast King Brutus, but I don't think it'll go in there. I'm wrong. It does go in there. There we go. Okay, so I can have it like that, or, well, I can't demonstrate it up higher, but like that would be plenty good enough. I've seen guys have them out there like this too. That would work too if I had to, but don't need to. So we'll use it as it was intended. There we go. Okay. So there's one of my carp rods in the rod holder. So let's simulate. I got my Gotta be careful not to catch myself. These hair rigs and you know, the hair rig and with that method lead on there, it's so. All right, so anyway, I got my stand-up method lead on there, hair rig, a couple pieces of fake corn. My typical rig for carp. All right, so let's pretend we're out there, and I don't know what I have my drag set on, so let's pretend it's, let's see. This is the Daiwa Avenger reel. It's the dual clutch system, so this would be how I would have it, loose like that for a carp. But let's pretend I forget to put the switch up, and this is the fighting drag, which is set by the top. That's what I would fight the fish on. Let's pretend for a second I forget to set the drag, which I've done and lost rods. So let's see what happens. If a fish pulls straight down, that's it. Again, if I forget to set the looser drag, say I was catfishing too, big fish pulls down, that's a pretty big takedown. I don't see it pulling it off. Even if it's slightly one direction, it's going to be okay. And if it's slightly the other direction, it's going to be okay. So I would say successful test. Now, if I pull as hard as I can in that direction, and I'm not remotely paying attention, I kind of deserve to lose everything, but I don't see that happening. Tell you what, if a carp pulls this whole table into the water, I just tip my hat and say good job. I doubt it's going to happen. But I think this is going to work out for attacking those carp at the swamp this year. More than likely, it's going to be sitting like this. I have bite alarms, so as soon as it goes to do this, I'm going to be right there and grab it. I'm not going to be far away from it. So, all right. I'm going to put another one on the other side, and we'll go from there. So there's the mod. I'm not going to bore you with that one. It's going to end up going right on the other side. I'm going to use the same technique. I'll use one of my bases, put it over there, and I'll be able to have two. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm happy how that turned out. So I'm going to give that a shot. And I'm going to put another one on the other side. And if I might be able to squeeze another rod in here. I can't test it because the rod will hit the ceiling. Otherwise, I might be able to sneak another rod in here if I really want to be ambitious and have one here and one, two on this side, or depending on how the wind's going or how I'm anchored, and one on that side. We'll see. We'll start out with just two and see if we can't catch a carp at the swamp. All right, so there you have it. There's my first mod of 2025 for the Pelican Bass Raider. This thing's a mess in the wintertime. It tends to be a catch-all of storage, but that's how she goes. But I wanted to show you guys how I was going to put this monster rod holder on here. And if this doesn't work out, we'll go with something else. Like I said, I'm not sure I want to start drilling holes in the boat. I don't think that it would hold it anyway. If I'm worried about a fish pulling this entire table into the water, it certainly would rip that base out of that plastic. So anyway, we'll start with this and see how this goes for the season, and we will go from there. I'm excited to try out the monster rod holders from Steve Douglas. Like I said, I've been watching him for years. Seems like a nice guy. I've never met him. And I bought these. It's not paid advertisements for monster rod holders. This is my first time to get them, so I'm excited to try them out. So anyway, thanks for watching today. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned, more mods to come. And also, I will be doing a breakdown of all the lures from all these, and all these, which were my top 5 for 2024, and which ones I'm going to be using in 2025. And I'll show you the numbers, how they all shook out, what I caught the most on, what I caught the least on. I'll show you how I rigged them, and and I'll try to remember the conditions and all the things for all the fish that were caught in 2024 and what I'm planning to use in 2025. So stay tuned for that video. That will be coming next. Appreciate you watching. Hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Can't wait to start fishing. It's early February, so I got a little ways to go. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one on Fishing with Vance. If you like this video, check out the playlist of all my other videos for catching bass off the Pelican, trout, and also really have gotten into carp fishing lately. In the off season here, I do a lot of product reviews on the Pelican fishing rods and reels, and then obviously lots of Pelican boat mod videos. So check those out. We have playlists for that. Hit subscribe, hit like, and comment. Thanks for watching.